They have been picked. Some think you are their savior, guardian angels sent from above. When someone feels you have completely transformed their life and saved them from the depths of whatever they were going through, it is the pinnacle of adoration and respect. This is aimed to those who have dedicated their whole lives to you, their cause for breathing, and their entire transformation in life. Your presence affected the whole cosmos. And, regardless of whether you volunteered for that job, it is the energy we are now examining. The timing of your introduction into people's lives is painstakingly arranged. It is never a random event or a coincidence. Exactly. When someone's soul begs for release from the limitations they have imposed on themselves, you make an appearance, and their higher self reaches out to you. A heavenly intervention occurred after they had tried all other options ages before your birth. A decision has been made on your involvement in this particular mission. Your identity was recorded in the cosmic record as a carrier of transformative light during this critical planetary change. Celestial councils met as the stars aligned, and your name was recorded in the cosmic record. You agreed to this and chose to take on this huge duty in the same manner as spiritual bleaches were poured into polluted rivers. Your energy purifies everything it comes into touch with, regardless of where you go. When you're surrounded by others, you may overcome the negative impacts of fear, uncertainty, and limitations. They have a sensation of lightness. Suddenly, the weights that people have carried their whole lives become tolerable, and in some instances vanish completely. When you join their profession, people who were drifting in oceans of despair suddenly realize they have a solid base under their feet. You are a roaming lighthouse, cutting through dense fog with tremendous rays of clarity that cannot be ignored or discarded. Those who have lost their path will find you, while those who have been shattered will seek you. In your presence, the cycles that have kept others imprisoned for generations are shattered. These cycles include family curses, genetic predispositions for pain, and never-ending karmic loops. When they are exposed to your frequency, they all dissolve. Just be yourself. You can break patterns without making an effort. When you are there, people's lives are transformed overnight. When you speak to someone who has been stuck for decades, they suddenly make more progress in one session than they would in years of treatment. Because you work outside of traditional therapy methods. This is the situation. Your medicine is not gained via learning. Instead, information is remembered from inside the underlying awareness itself. Before you ever get the opportunity to confront the darkness full on, it's already departed. Your brilliance is aggressive, piercing, and refuses to surrender. It refuses to make any compromises to shadows. The reason for this is that changes that occur in your presence are not gradual. Rather, they occur abruptly, dramatically, and comprehensively. You aren't only improving people's lives. Instead, you are radically altering things from the ground up around you. The barrier between the worlds starts to weaken. However, this is for others. It may take decades of consistent spiritual effort before they can glimpse beyond. By the time you were born, one of your feet was already on the other side, beyond the restricted bandwidth of normal awareness. Your vision naturally extends beyond the limits of existence. You can identify the threads that connect all occurrences, all creatures, and all the times together. Because of the frequency with which you function, conventional brains find it impossible to grasp by shattering the well-crafted illusions that keep the vast majority of people blissfully unaware. Your natural frequency does just that. Your presence causes these illusions to waver, giving glimpses of a more expanded reality that the majority of people are unable to accept. You did not get here by chance. You were guided. If something in your soul is stirring, do not dismiss it. Tap Join to get access to unique information, prophetic insights, and a community of purpose-driven individuals. This is not just a membership. It's time for you to come into harmony. Take the steps necessary to become the person you were meant to be. Welcome to the Chosen. Synchronicities swarm about you like cosmic fireflies' eyes, revealing pathways invisible to others operating at lower frequencies. There is a pattern in the appearance of numbers. Meaningful coincidences increase. The universe communicates with you via a complicated language of indications. And these indications confirm your heavenly mission at every chance. Your dreams are not just the consequence of subconscious processing. Rather, they are journeys across other realms. The knowledge you get while your physical body rests is more than what most individuals seeking spiritual enlightenment gain throughout a lifetime of devoted effort. It may take months or even years to fully absorb and assimilate the material you bring back with you. The heavenly powers have recognized you. They react to your orders, prayers, and intensity with remarkable quickness and accuracy. Nonetheless, this is something that comes naturally to you. When you connect with someone, their wounds begin to heal spontaneously, not because of any skill you have learned, but because of the regenerative light you naturally exude. Soul to soul, your frequency is identified as medicine by their cellular memory, activating a self-healing potential they were previously unaware of. The divine design that lies underneath the damaged veneer that other people present to the world may be seen when they are caught in their tales of restriction and victimization. You are connecting with the version of them that has been perfected and now lives outside the constraints of time because you are so clear about your aim. Individuals begin to identify with it, despite their resistance. Meeting with you is the mechanism via which faith may be restored. Individuals who had previously given up on heavenly protection and believed its source had abandoned them experience a remarkable reunion that wipes away years of spiritual disillusionment. Your presence proves without a reasonable doubt the existence of a loving mind operating behind the scenes of physical reality. When they are in your presence, forgotten portions of other souls reconnect as a result of the trauma they have suffered. Parts of themselves that they had rejected, denied, or alienated from began to reappear, pulled by your field security. The reemergence of wholeness is made possible by the development of an energy container strong enough to hold even the most broken parts of them. Restoring your health does not lead to dependence. Rather, it produces empowerment. Not only do individuals who are influenced by your energy feel temporarily relieved, but they are also reminded of their own divine origin and the boundless potential that exists inside them. You not only ease pain, but you also activate latent abilities that transform receivers into providers. As a result, your healing effect will extend exponentially. Everywhere you go, the kind warmth you radiate provides a safe haven for others in your company. Spaces undergo a change, from sterile to holy, chaotic to harmonious. When individuals enter your field, they expel their whole breath. Other people are sometimes able to relax their guard and remember who they really are for the first time in a long time, thanks to the protection that your aura brings. Your stability is unshakable because it is based on knowledge that reaches far beyond this physical plane. Despite the fact that the world is in constant crises, you retain an unwavering power that looks unattainable. Apathy does not bring peace of mind to those who are reacting. Rather, it is the divine viewpoint that sees the perfect orchestration underlying what seems to be chaos. If God's kindness has touched you, don't keep it a secret. Select Super. Thank you. So, by contributing $100 or more to help spread His light, you are creating a ripple of kindness, blessing hearts, and growing His kingdom. Allow His abundance to pass through you. The light you carry illuminates even the most obscure facets of the human experience. Direct connection with the eternal component of other individuals allows you to detect the soul architecture that lies behind personality without needing it. Your presence elicits respect from people around you. Your energy awakens everyone you come into touch with from a state of slumber to ceremonial consciousness. You are breaking a slumber that they were not expecting to wake up from, which is why some individuals respond to you with annoyance or dread rather than terror. You may help others reclaim power that they have lost to external authorities, false prophets, and persons who have made up their ideas. Your energy resonates with their original sovereignty, causing the cell's memory to rediscover the heavenly heritage with which they were created. The way people move through the environment changes as a consequence of this reclaiming, which is not intellectual, but rather full body. Remembering the truth that you represent in a world full of illusions is the unwavering truth. Human experience is not the source of relative truth. Rather, It is the ultimate truth that exists beyond of all mental frames. Your presence eliminates layers of conditioning, exposing the unvarnished, raw truth of life that most people spend their whole lives avoiding. Your changes are not cosmetic or fleeting. Rather, they are simple and long-lasting. After making a true connection with your energy, it is hard for a person to return to their prior state of unconsciousness. The old patterns cannot maintain their hypnotic grasp on them because you have shown them too much. They were aroused and stimulated excessively. Despite the fact that you are not actively engaged in any activity, you do not have conscious control over the operational mechanism of your catalyst. Your field is constantly active, sending out awakening messages that reach the subconscious minds of everyone in range even after the physical link has stopped. Your influence will continue to have an impact, much like spiritual time-release capsules, which activate when the receivers are ready. You have the ability to lead others through levels of awareness that the majority of people would never explore if you were not there. You serve as a cosmic ferryman, helping souls navigate the turbulent seas that lie between various spatial levels, so assuring that they arrive securely at enhanced awareness. Without mentors like you, many individuals would be locked in confined paradigms for the rest of their lives. Your path creates an energy blueprint that helps people who follow in your footsteps make progress. In the process of removing barriers that have stifled community progress for centuries. Even decades after your physical body has returned to stardust, you are still creating routes through thick mind. Others will be able to recognize your footsteps since they leave light impressions that can be followed. Individual souls connected to your purpose experience rapid growth that defies traditional developmental timelines while under your careful eye. Procedures that would ordinarily take decades might be accomplished in months or even days. There is some pain connected with this acceleration. It is forceful, demanding, and often overpowering. This, however, is just what their souls have been searching for all along. By showing states of existence that most people consider mythological or fictitious, you, together with your heavenly counterparts, are opening up new possibilities for human experience. Your example illustrates that what was previously thought to be a spiritual fiction is really a reality that may be realized. The collective field you've constructed serves as a bridge between worlds, allowing for unprecedented downloads of cosmic cognition. If your heart is overflowing with God's blessings, let that love radiate. Click the Super Thank You button and donate $100 or more to sow seeds of faith that will touch countless lives. Your giving exemplifies His richness. Be a channel for His grace and watch His kingdom grow through you. Your journey is not just about personal growth, but also about assisting the earth, since each step you take in your own expansion sends vibrations across the communal field. The baseline frequency accessible to all species gradually increases. Transformations that occur in your private life are never really private. Rather, they contribute to a millennia-long expected cosmic awareness awakening. Some may first show unexpected resistance to your light, just as deep-sea species are brought to the surface. Suddenly, their opposition is not a personal response. Rather, it is density's natural response when in touch with higher frequencies. Systemic surroundings used to spiritual darkness may perceive the pressure difference caused by your presence to be overbearing. All opposition will be overcome as a consequence of your unwavering consistency. Rather of engaging in debating, arguing, or persuading others, you just continue to radiate truth while making no compromises. Because of this persistent transmission, even the most resistant fields are ultimately recalibrated, resulting in openings where none seemed to be possible before. Throughout your life, you have been the subject of efforts to extinguish your light. Individuals engaged in the maintenance of obsolete paradigms are aware of the threat you bring to the power structures that have been established. Nonetheless, these attempts are always fruitless, since your light does not come from any external source that can be turned off. Rather, it comes from your own being and cannot be extinguished. It is hard to provide a reasonable explanation for the divine arrangement of your relationships. Those who need your specific frequency are magnetically attracted into your orbit at exactly the right moment, for the most substantial change possible in the restricted viewpoint of linear time. These connections may seem to occur at random, but they are really carefully choreographed by powers operating beyond the veil. The appreciation is mutual in character. When you come into touch with your soul or family, you instantly identify them. You may recognize the unique signature of people who share your cosmic origin, which extends beyond the surface attributes and personality traits that you possess as a consequence of social memory taking priority over human forgetfulness. These reunion presentations usually generate strong psychological and emotional reactions. When you break shackles, you release spirits that have been chained for a lifetime. When you are present, generations-old patterns of restriction are instantaneously shattered. This release is not restricted to the field of psychology. Rather, it extends to the quantum level, releasing energy that has been trapped owing to recurring cycles of suffering and constraint. As a consequence of your courage, incredible leaps of faith are inspired. Individuals who have previously had comfortable and commonplace lives are suddenly forced to take risks that drastically change their reality overnight. Your fearlessness is contagious not because you are reckless, but because you labor from a position of faith in divine protection, making common anxieties seem ludicrous. You are an authority that is not restricted by human society's hierarchical systems, as opposed to power gained from the world, which is based on force or manipulation. Your authority comes from being perfectly aligned with God's will. Since this is the case, even individuals in positions of conventional authority regularly yield to your guidance without fully understanding why they feel compelled to do so. Your strength allows others to reclaim their sovereign divinity, not by making them reliant on you, but by reminding them of the power that already exists inside them. Because of your presence, latent potentials are ignited, revealing skills that had been hidden under veils of forgetfulness and self-doubt. The liberation you give goes beyond the individual's freedom and contributes to the group's elevation. Every individual soul you help liberate from imprisonment contributes to the acceleration of a millennia-long worldwide shift. Not only are you saving lives, but you are also helping to free the whole world from the thick consciousness that has governed for ages. You provide divine order to locations where chaos formerly ruled. This is not the rigid, dominating order of human systems, but the flowing, organic harmony of cosmic intelligence. Your presence reveals the immaculate patterns hidden underneath the apparent chaos, assisting people in realizing the divine geometry that underpins all existence. When you trigger a very strong spirit or rebirth, people who encounter it often believe they are altogether different entities. The demise of limiting identities makes room for the emergence of the true self, which has been waiting to be represented via the physical body. The rebirth described here is not a metaphor. It emerges as visible changes in brainwave patterns, cardiac coherence, and cellular vibration. As you travel through the field, the illusion of separation, which is perhaps the most damaging thought that can infect human awareness, fades. Your presence brings to others notice the unbreakable connection that exists beyond imagined limits. This healing of the basic pain of separation allows for actual connection, which most people spend their whole lives seeking but never finding. Your presence allows hearts that had been shut for protection to reopen. You emanate unconditional love. This results in the construction of a secure environment that allows vulnerability without worry of being exploited. Emotional armoring that has prevented one from fully experiencing life gradually relaxes, exposing sensitivities not as flaws, but as crucial avenues for spiritual understanding. Because of the trauma or indoctrination you've endured, you may support the integration of fragmented components that have been rejected, refused, or disassociated. Your field allows for wholeness, allowing apparently incongruous aspects of existence to live happily rather than compete for supremacy. This unity makes an enormous amount of energy accessible for artistic expression and spiritual growth. The natural abundant flows that have been hindered by limiting ideas are restored to circulation around you simply by maintaining the frequency of infinite supply. You have the ability to return individuals to the divine heritage that they have received while in your presence. Spiritual awakening is usually associated with financial change. This isn't because you teach manifestation tactics. Rather, it is because you have eliminated the underlying impression of lack. You move the emphasis away from stories based on fear and toward pure truth. Meanwhile, you remain focused on the faultless implementation of the cosmic plan. While the collective remains captivated by staged catastrophes, this unshakable alignment provides a blueprint for others to follow as they gradually shift from reactive involvement in the expansion of the world to creative engagement in the progression of creation. Beyond the human form that you momentarily adopt, people who sense you may see your magnificent nature, immensity, cosmic knowledge, and ancient wisdom. This discovery often leads people to cry, not out of emotional weakness, but out of sheer relief at finally coming face to face with actual divinity in its bodily incarnation. Your commitment to the truth is unwavering, despite repeated efforts to undermine it. Despite the fact that you live in a society that fosters conformity and opposes authenticity, you have managed to align with your best self, knowing that your integrity will not be forgotten. It is acknowledged by powers much greater than the human-based power structures. Your voice transmits vibrations that, when touched, initiate healing. The actual sound vibration of your voice contains codes that reset the listener's range of perception. In addition to the substance of what you say, the reason for this is that even short contacts with you may result in significant behavioral changes. Furthermore, you are presenting information on many dimensions at the same time. The implications of your objective transcend well beyond the process of personal development among people. Your involvement allows you to be a part of a world-changing operation that has been ongoing since before recorded history. When you touch a song, you become part of a spreading network of enlightened awareness that will eventually reach critical mass, resulting in a quantum leap for all of humanity. It is no accident that you are now on this planet, since your specific frequencies are necessary for the process of planetary ascension. You took the choice to embody the evolutionary answers at this critical transitional period. Eerie impediments that have impeded human advancement for millennia are stored inside your one-of-a-kind. Coding the connections you establish will result in the construction of higher consciousness networks, which will serve as the nervous system of a possible new Earth.